You sit awake, as you often do, listening to the hum of your own thoughts. Your mind, sharp and relentless, churns through possibilities, alternatives, potential mistakes. It is tireless. It is precise. It is exhausting. Once, this relentless thinking served you. It was a shield, a survival mechanism. It whispered, if you anticipate everything, nothing can harm you. And for a time, it was true. You navigated the world carefully, avoiding the pitfalls others stumbled into. You learned to calculate, to predict, to prepare. But now, that same mind betrays you. Every choice becomes a labyrinth, every conversation a field of minds. Your strengths, perception, analysis, insight, have become a cage. The variability that once protected you now immobilizes you. The paradox is cruel. Your brilliance, your foresight, your caution, they were once survival. Now they are the silent architects of your suffering. You wonder if you are alone in this, but millions share this hidden struggle. The minds most capable of understanding the world are often the most trapped within it. And this is not weakness, it is adaptation gone awry. Definition and psychological authority. Overthinking is not mere worry. It is ruminative cognition, a looping, self-reinforcing pattern of thought focused on errors, hypothetical futures, and imagined failures. Neurologically, overthinking is anchored in the default mode network, the part of the brain active when we are not engaged in tasks. In overthinkers, it becomes a feedback loop, replaying conversations, decisions, and imagined scenarios. What the rest of the world sees as quiet reflection is in fact a storm within your mind. Hypervigilance, another key factor, keeps your nervous system in constant readiness. The amygdala signals threat where none exists, generating cortisol, heightening anxiety, and locking attention on potential mistakes. Consider parentification, often invisible but profoundly formative. As a child, you may have learned to anticipate adult moods, to manage household tension, or to meet unspoken expectations. You became the one who calculated, predicted, and protected, an early analyst of human behavior. These skills, adaptive in youth, become overactive in adulthood. Avoidant attachment magnifies this. Emotional closeness triggers anticipation of rejection or abandonment. Overthinking is the strategy your psyche devised to prevent hurt before it arrives, a preemptive strike against vulnerability. And there's emotional neglect, the silent architect of doubt. If your early environment invalidated emotions, overanalysis becomes your way to impose order on chaos, to feel safe when your inner world was never protected. The psychological truth is stark. Overthinking is simultaneously your gift and your curse. It is a mind built for precision, risk assessment, and anticipation, but without guidance, it consumes life rather than enhancing it. Welcome to the place where we explore the deepest corners of the human mind, uncover hidden truths, and tell stories that make you feel, think, and reflect. If you're curious about psychology, personal growth, or stories that touch the heart and mind, you've come to the right place. Subscribe now and hit the bell so you never miss a journey into understanding yourself and the world around you. Every video is designed to inspire insight, spark curiosity, and help you see life from a new perspective. Join our community of thinkers, dreamers, and explorers because your mind deserves stories that matter. The cost of overthinking is subtle but profound. It is invisible grief, the quiet erosion of spontaneity, authenticity, and presence. Time is lost. Decisions are delayed. Relationships are strained not through malice, but through constant rehearsal of every word, every reaction, every possibility. Opportunities slip away while you remain in contemplation. Joy becomes a distant memory, replaced by the incessant hum of mental calculation. Philosophers have long understood this toll. Jung described the shadow of hyper-awareness, the unconscious cost of excessive vigilance. Rilke reminded us that the future is unknown, and that uncertainty is the soil in which your life must grow. Seneca warned that anxiety about outcomes robs the present of life itself. The invisible cost manifests in everyday life. The weight of unspoken words in conversations, sleep disrupted by rehearsals of the past and simulations of the future, creativity stifled by a mind that evaluates before it imagines. You live with a core fear, often unacknowledged, the fear of judgment, failure, and uncertainty. Every thought becomes a negotiation between the desire to act and the instinct to protect. Existentially, this creates tension. Kierkegaard described life as a balance between possibility and despair. Overthinking magnifies that tension, making every choice infinite, every pause monumental. You mourn for authenticity, for moments lost to thought loops, for the self you hide from the world to avoid imagined consequences. And yet, recognizing this cost is also a doorway to freedom. Awareness is the lantern in your labyrinth. Adult patterns and unlearning. Overthinking shapes adult behavior in subtle and pervasive ways. You may recognize these patterns in yourself. Indecision. Minor and major choices alike are paralyzed by analysis. Every option is dissected endlessly. Perfectionism. You delay or avoid action, fearing perfection or judgment. Social hyperanalysis. Conversations are rehearsed and replayed, relationships filtered through imagined criticism. Emotional suppression. Desire, anger, or need are muted to prevent perceived harm. Boundary ambiguity. Over-accommodation to avoid conflict or disapproval. Self-doubt. Every success is questioned, failure is magnified. Identity blurring. Choices are guided more by prediction than authentic desire. Chronic stress. Nervous system hyperarousal drains energy, creating fatigue and tension. These behaviors are coping mechanisms, adaptive in earlier life contexts, but maladaptive now. Awareness is the first step towards unlearning. Recognizing that overthinking is a conditioned response allows you to begin disentangling instinct from choice. Stories of transformation. Consider Maya, a software engineer who could anticipate every problem in her projects, yet her creativity stagnated. Through journaling and shadow work, she learned to observe thoughts without judgment, creating space for action. She discovered that overthinking could serve insight rather than sabotage. Or David, a teacher whose mind replayed every classroom interaction endlessly. Through nervous system regulation, breathwork, meditation, and short decision windows, he learned to act decisively, understanding that uncertainty is inherent but manageable. These are not extraordinary examples, they are mirrors. Any mind trapped in rumination can learn to harness the same energy for clarity and growth. Practical healing and tools. 1. Inner child work. Speak to the part of you that first developed hypervigilance. Validate its intentions. You worked hard to keep me safe, and I see your sacrifice. 2. Shadow work. Observe overthinking patterns without judgment. Ask, what is this thought trying to protect me from? 3. Nervous system regulation. Practices like paced breathing, yoga, or mindful movement reduce cortisol, signaling safety to the body. 4. Time-bound reflection. Limit rumination to set periods. Externalize thought through journaling. 5. Curiosity over certainty. Shift the goal from perfect outcomes to exploration. Ask, what can I learn from this? 6. Values-based decision-making. Anchor choices in personal values rather than imagined consequences. 7. Imperfection practice. Take small actions without exhaustive planning. Sending a message, starting a project, trying something new. This retrains tolerance for uncertainty. 8. Metacognitive awareness. Label thoughts as just thoughts, creating a cognitive distance that prevents fusion.
I hope you will understand all my solution. If you like this video, subscribe my channel for more informative videos. Goodbye.